All right, welcome. If you've ever found yourself staring at a GCSE computer science exam paper, just wondering what on earth an examiner is looking for to get those top marks, then you are in exactly the right place. In this quick explainer, we're going to crack the code on a really common question about defensive design. I'm going to show you exactly how to lock in every single one of those marks. Okay, let's get right into it.
Right, so here's our challenge for today. We're going to take a real question from a past paper and just completely deconstruct it. Our mission is to understand it, break it down, and then build the perfect answer from scratch, using the examiner's own mark scheme as our guide.
So here it is, question 4B from a real paper. The setup is simple, a program for rating videos, but the command word here is absolutely crucial, describe. And the prize, 2 marks. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but the difference between getting 1 mark and getting the full 2, it often just comes down to how you structure your answer. So let's figure out that perfect structure.
Okay, but before we can even think about answering the question, we need to be crystal clear on this core concept. What is defensive design? Well, the best way to think about it is like building a shield for your program.
You know, what's so interesting about this is that your job as a programmer isn't just about writing code for the perfect user who does everything right. No way. It's about anticipating total chaos. You have to think about every weird, accidental, or even malicious thing a user could possibly do. Like, I don't know, typing their name where a number should go. And you build this digital shield to protect your program from all that bad data.
So the good news is, you've got a whole toolkit full of different shields to choose from. For a 2-mark question like this, there's not just one right answer. The mark scheme actually gives us a bunch of valid methods, and really any of them can get you full marks, as long as you describe it correctly. So let's have a quick look at the main options.
First up, we've got validation. This is all about checking if the data a user puts in is sensible and, within the limits you expect.
Next is authentication. Think of this as your program's bouncer. It's there to make sure users are who they say they are, usually with a classic username and password.
Then there's input sanitation. This is a big one. It's basically the process of cleaning up user input, stripping out any dangerous code or weird characters that could be used to attack your system.
Now this one's a bit broader. It's really about thinking ahead. How could a user break this thing? Like trying to divide by 0 or entering a rating of 1,000,000 stars. You put locks in place to stop them.
And finally, maintainability. Now this one might seem a bit surprising, right? But writing clean code with good comments so it's easy to understand, that's also a defensive measure. It protects the program from future developers, including yourself, who might accidentally add bugs later on.
Okay, so we've got our toolkit, but how do we turn one of these tools into a perfect 2-mark answer? It's not enough to just name a method. You have to describe it. And luckily for us, there is a simple, foolproof formula.
And here it is. This is your golden ticket to full marks. Just follow these 3 steps. 1, name the method you've picked. 2, describe what it does in a simple sentence. And 3, give a specific example that relates directly to the video program from the question. Name, describe, example. That's the magic formula. So let's put this formula into practice. Let's pick validation from our toolkit and build a model answer together step by step. And we'll use the examiner's own words as our blueprint.
And this is the secret sauce. We're looking directly at the official mark scheme. This isn't a guess. This is exactly what the person marking your paper has on their desk. And just look at the structure. It asks for a check on sensible data and then gives an example. It's practically screaming at us to use our formula. So here's how we put it all together. Let's build it out. Step 1, we just name it. One method is validation. Easy. Step 2, we describe it. This checks that the data a user enters is sensible and reasonable. Perfect. And step 3, the example. For example, ensuring a video rating is between 1 and 5 stars. You put those 3 sentences together and you have an absolutely bulletproof 2-mark answer. All right, let's lock all this knowledge in with a super quick recap. Think of this as your exam checklist for any question you see about defensive design. First off, just remember your toolkit. You've got at least 5 solid options here. You don't have to be a world expert on all of them, but you do need to be able to pick one and describe it clearly. And this, right here, is the single most important thing to take away from this. For any question that asks you to describe something for 2 marks, just use this formula. Name it, describe it, and give an example. This simple structure proves to the examiner that you really understand the concept, not just the buzzword. It's going to get you both marks every single time.
So I'll leave you with a little something to think about. We've looked at the whole toolkit, but different tools are for different jobs, right?
Of all the methods we just talked about, which one do you think is the most critical shield for stopping one of the most common web attacks out there, the SQL injection? Have a think about it, and you'll be one step closer to mastering defensive design.